All right. Hi everyone. Okay, so on this show, I wanted to document the ways I have discovered is the best way to use AI to manage your investments and basically come up with the best way to increase your investment income. On this channel, we basically use AI and technology to figure out the best way to improve our lives when it comes to health, wealth, and love, basically relationships. And I already had some wealth related shows focused on income, focusing on generating better business income. Okay. And that's it is really important for you guys to understand the purpose of investments, because a lot of people, before I talk to you about, I need to explain this, because before I tell you how to increase your investment income, please understand that investments are not a way for you to increase your wealth significantly. Investments are a way for you to keep the wealth that you already have made with your either employment income or preferably business income. And it's really important for people to understand that, because a lot of people look at investment as a way to get rich, and investments don't make you rich unless you are gambling, and you're just one of the few lucky ones that manage to just get lucky, right? So there's basically four things you could do to generate wealth, and one of them is a very shitty idea. First one is to increase your employment income. Second one is to increase or have business income. Third way is investment income. And fourth way is gambling by pretending that you're investing. And when people are trying to get rich with investments, they're actually not investing. They're doing the fourth one. They're gambling. But the way that you need to look at investment is like, I will try to get rich with my employment or preferably my business income, and then the money, the wealth that I generate from my employment or business income, I want to make sure that I don't lose it to inflation or other things. And that is the purpose of investments. I mean, even the people that have become very rich with investments, is not the investments themselves that made them rich, unless they're one of the few people who gambled and got lucky. The reason why they got rich is because it was their job to manage other people's investments, and they were getting paid for it. So that was basically employment income or their business income, because that was their business. So is before we actually look at how we could use AI to improve your investments, I want you to have the right mindset looking at this. If you're looking for a cheat code for, if I buy this and buy the right thing at the right time, I'm going to get rich, you're looking at this all wrong. In fact, the greatest investment that you could do that has the highest rate of return, okay, I will get into actually, stocks and, bonds, and we'll talk about crypto and everything. We'll talk about whether or not that makes sense or it doesn't. I'll talk mutual funds. I'll talk to you about all of that. But before, other than that, the best investment anybody could make is investing in themselves, in investing in improving their skills and their knowledge on what to do to improve either their employment income or their business income. And this is not just I know you might think like, oh yeah, that's just something bullshit people say. It's absolutely true. I used to listen to people and think like, oh, okay, sure, it's true. I get that because they did the math for me. But only recently I got to experience it, because as soon as I did a little bit of, side business, I saw that, holy shit, even this small little side business, the money that you put in this, no investment could beat this. Like the return on the investment on improving your own business or your own skills is so much higher than the market. I mean, it even is even higher than some of the meme coins that people think that they would like. It's crazy. It's crazy. So there, I mean, and those are gambling. I'm not suggesting that you should go for that, but the surest high return on investment is to invest in yourself and improve your skills and improve your knowledge on what you need to do next, and also improve your mindset. That's also key. It's more important than even your knowledge. Improving your mindset so that you get used to hard work. If you could do that, that's the best investment. Okay, but let's go into the world of finance, the actual world of finance, into what we need to buy. But before I get into the world of finance, let me do a disclaimer. Okay, guys, anything I tell you about financial investments, these are just my personal opinions, and they could be wrong. And you shouldn't be copying me or anyone else that is talking about their philosophy and their, giving you any suggestions regarding financial investments. You could listen to people and get inspired to then go do research. So the purpose of listening to other people's strategies is never, it should be never to just copy them or trust them. It's just so that you could get inspired, so that to do research to see if it actually makes sense. So do your own research and don't copy me or anyone else. These are, everything I'm telling you is just what I think works, and I could be wrong. So there's that. I see in the chat, James is here, Tree of Knowledge is here, Amika is here, Tora is here. It's good to see your actual names here on this channel. LF, Mose, fantastic. Let me know. I want you two guys to give me your opinions as we go through this. If you know what, how to. Yeah, no. So guys, we're not anybody like. So Amika, we're not talking about predicting. Like I will tell you, if we're not talking about buying individual assets here, we're not about timing the market. We're not doing trend analysis. We're not trying to. Please understand that what I'm going to share with you is with the philosophy that anything that you think is worth buying, the information regarding like any liquid asset like stocks or bonds, the information regarding why they are a good or bad investment is publicly available. So unless you know something that is not publicly available information, the information that you have access to has been priced in already in that asset, okay, in the stock or in the bond or whatever, or in the currency. So unless you think that you are wiser than the wisdom of the entire market and you could see trends in a way that computers and AI that is basically analyzing everything in the market by a fraction of a second every single every all the time, unless you think that you're better than that, then you shouldn't be trying to predict what stock would be a good idea. Because if you think whatever information you use to come up with the idea that this stock is going to do better relative to other stocks is the information that is publicly available to everyone else, and more important than everyone else is going to be publicly available to AI that is designed to understand trends and correlation between things better than any human can, and they make decisions in a fraction of a second. And I know that there are some even companies that have moved their entire office just so that they're closer, so the distance between the fiber optics for the internet connection is lower. So when the decisions are made to take advantage of the arbitrage, it goes from maybe a fraction of a second to even lower than that. That's how fast these decisions are made, and they use AI. And no human can no human could have already competed with that without AI, because there's so many people that are quickly making decisions based on the publicly available information out there. But now with this age of AI and technology, there's no way that you could beat the market. And if you buy some stocks, and here's what you need to understand: if you buy some stocks and it goes up, it doesn't mean that you made money, because you are not taking into account the opportunity cost, right? So, for example, let's say I buy one stock and it goes up 20%, or let's say it goes up 15%. If the market on average went up 20%, then I have lost money, because I could have just ride the market and I would have made 20%. So I bought a specific stock that went up 15%, but because I picked the stock, I probably also put some time and research into picking it. So you have to also take into account the value of the time that I used to actually research that stock, right? And I lost for the extra time that I put in buying that stock, researching that stock, I lost 5% compared to the market. In the same way, if you buy a stock and it goes down 20%, or yeah, if you buy, let's say you buy the market and the market goes down 10%, right? If a stock goes down 5%, that stock did actually well. That stock outperformed the market. So, because the key thing is to understand is that on average, the market goes up because the economy is progressing. Things are getting more efficient. So no matter when the market crashes, eventually will recover, and it does well. So instead of spending time trying to beat the market, because let me tell you, no mutual fund, if you look at every single scientific paper that has been studied, mutual funds do the vast majority of mutual funds, if you give them enough time, they would not be able to beat the market. And these people are experts at picking stocks. They understand stocks. So even mutual funds who spend their entire with people who are experts in finance, understanding the financial markets, and spend their every single working time trying to figure out what stocks to pick, they cannot beat the market. So why wouldn't I just buy the entire market instead of picking stocks, or instead of buying a mutual fund? It doesn't even make sense to invest in mutual funds, given that mutual funds will have management fees. I could just buy an ETF, which is basically buying the entire market or a huge portion of the market, and with basically close to nothing, close to zero management fees, I would just ride the market. Okay, so I will tell you how AI could help with this. Do you guys, is anybody lost? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So, Hayden Edgar, you're saying hello too many times in the chat. Please don't spam the chat. Don't spam the chat. Do you guys understand why buying individual stocks don't make any sense? So, what is an ETF? ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Have you guys heard that before? It's very. I'm trying to simplify investment for you. A lot of people think investment means that you have to go and find companies and figure out which company is doing good. You have to read their balance sheet. You have to read their income statement. You have to read their cash flow statement. You have to look at the trends in the market. You have to look at, export, import data. You have to look at, I don't know, the cost of making this, right? But it's actually very easy. Investing is very easy. The hard part is to be consistent at it. The hard part is for people to try to lower their spending, increase their income, and lower their spending, so that every single month they have something left over to put into the market. And here's a phrase that you need to understand: time in the market is more important than timing the market. meaning that whenever you have any income that you could invest, just go into the market, buy the market. Don't wait for the right time. Do not time the market. Just know that even if you buy on the highs, on average you will recover. Your money is going to go up. You don't have to figure out exactly when is the best time to buy the market. Just as soon as you have anything left over. So that's time in the market means that the longer you are in the market is always beats timing the market. So don't try to figure out the right time. Just lower your spending, increase your income, get the difference, get into the market. Somebody saying there are so many investment types, not just shares, or the market shares. Yes, but nothing beats the stock market over the. So nothing is a safe, consistent bet compared to the stock market over a long-term period. Give me one thing that is a better. The entire market. I'm not talking about individual stocks. Tell me one thing that beats that. Unless you're talking about investment in your business and a business, that's business income. That's a job. That's not investment. I challenge you, come up with one thing. James is saying, I've never really been interested in investing in stocks, but it's still an interesting topic, though. I mean, you need to be invested in it. Where else are you going to put your money? Like, other than the money that you put into improving yourself and improving your business, where are you going to put the rest? What the hell do you guys do? Like, do you guys know that if you want to have a comfortable life when you get older, you need to basically put your money somewhere? Where else would you put it? You have to put it into the stock market, but not specific stocks, the entire stock market. No, so LF is saying commodities. Okay, why would I like commodities? Obviously, that's like, unless you're hedging against something, unless again, unless you're talking about the gold, which is a store of value instead of investment. Commodities are not like, do you understand that there's nothing that you could do to predict everything when it comes to the price of commodities right now is priced in? So commodities might be a hedge against inflation. It might be a way for people who want to already have covered their investments. So commodities is a way for you to cover your ass against inflation without investing. It's not an investment. It's a hedge against inflation. Commodities, how do you know what's going to happen to commodities? How do you know what's going to happen to the price? Everything that you know about commodities has already, every publicly available information has already been priced in. That's not an investment. That's just a hedge against inflation. That only makes sense if you have enough percentage of your savings into the stock market, but you also want some of them not to be in the stock market. So, but you also don't want to just hold cash because of inflation, and you put it in commodities, not for investment purposes, but for as a hedge against inflation. That's the only reason why that makes sense. But how would you look at commodities? It doesn't make any sense, especially when we have ETFs now. So what I'm advocating for myself, again, you guys do your own research, is that you shouldn't be picking individual investments. You should be buying the entire market. And now, and we with this tool called ETFs, that is a very easy thing to do. Because with one button, like, I could just do buy, just like as if I'm buying one stock, I could buy 500 companies at the same time. Like, without ETFs, if I wanted to buy the entire S&P 500, I would have to go do 500 trades. And the 500 trades would cost me a lot, because every single one of those every single one of those buys will have a transaction fee, like it will have a fee associated with that trade. But with ETF, with one trade, you will be able to own 500 companies at the same time. That's what ETFs are. And basically, that will give you exposure instead of picking a specific stock, because you're not going to be able to know which ones are the winner. You're not picking stocks. You're buying the entire market. Yeah, I'm correct. That's gambling. If you pick a one stock, that's gambling. If you buy the entire market, that's the sensible thing to do. And guys, please understand that the market will go up and down. We're talking about buying and then forgetting about it. Like you're not going to be checking it like, oh my god, my investments went down today, up today. No, because if you look at every 20-year horizon, like every 20-year basically, if you go look at the markets and look at the charts, never, like, over every 20-year period, not only did you with all the crashes in between, you have made your money back and so much more if you just stayed in the market. So you need to have be steady. Like you need to be the type of person that even if the market crashes, you don't touch it. Even if the market goes up, you don't touch it. You keep saving money, putting it into the market, and forgetting about it. Forgetting about it. You just ride the market with all its up and downs. You don't touch it anymore. If the market goes up, you don't think like, oh, this is a good time to take it out and then go back in when it's down. No, forget it. Do not time the market. Just go in and stay and then just wait for more. This is a very easy thing to do. It's a very easy thing to do. Like all you have to do is save money, find the right ETFs, and I will tell you how to do it using AI. Find the right ETFs and then buying and then forgetting about it. You could just focus more. Instead of focusing more on picking stocks, you focus more on increasing your income and increasing the distance between your income and your spending so that you could put more into the market. Does this make sense so far? Let me actually now explain what the ETFs are. So exchange traded funds is basically like a basket of investments. Instead of buying like an apple and then an orange and then a lemon, they give you a basket with 500 different fruits in it. Usually it's hundreds or even thousands of stocks. Some of them focus on United States. Some of them focus on, for example, the tech sector. Some of them focus on, I don't know, Brazil. Some of them focus on all the stocks in the world. Like we have global ETFs. But in one single trade, you could buy the entire basket. Instead of saying like one trade for the apple, one trade for the orange, one trade for the lemon, you do one trade and you get a basket. Does that make sense? Everybody on the same page? And guys, we're not, a lot of people think that I was going to get you to use ChatGPT to find you the proper stocks. Okay. That is not what we're doing here, because I promise you that ChatGPT cannot tell you any information that other power investment firms with their more powerful AI are basically evaluating hundreds of times every single second. That's not what we're doing with ChatGPT. That's not what we do. Like if you're using your ChatGPT, if you're asking your ChatGPT for day trading, you're using AI for evil. Okay. If you ask ChatGPT to pick a stock for you, you're like, hey, it's AI. It must know what it's doing. No, it doesn't. It's priced in. It's priced in by other more powerful AI that is designed specifically for stocks. Okay. So it's not going to have any information that the other more powerful AI specifically for that doesn't have access to. So I'll tell you what we're going to use AI for. Okay. So James said, yes, I understand. Right. So for example, one ETF might contain pieces of all the biggest companies in the United States or around the world. Like there are some ETFs that mirror the S&P 500. So every single company that is in the S&P 500, they give you a basket filled with every single one of those companies, right? They cost very low. So they charge much lower fees, much lower fees than mutual funds. And it makes a huge difference. Like for example, a 2% mutual fee by mutual funds over the long run, if you look at it, like it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like you think like 2% is nothing or 1% is nothing. It's huge. If you look at the difference between that 1%, what you would have had with you, Like, for example, if your return on investment every year was 12%, because you're giving 1% to the mutual fund, is 11%. Just go look at how big of a difference the 12% and 11% are going to be over 30 years. It's insane how big the difference is. So ETFs, the fee is so small, and it's going to let you keep hundreds of thousands of dollars more if you just keep buying ETFs instead of putting it in mutual funds. So this is how you use AI, not to pick stocks for you. Oh, FLP, hi. Let me see. Okay, I'm okay. All right, so this is how I use ChatGPT. And again, this is just a suggestion. You could go a lot more detailed with this, but I'm just starting basic. You could say, give me a list of the lowest cost ETFs for, you could say, global stocks or American stocks available to investors in, you put your country here, right? So, for example, if you're in Israel, you can say, give me a list of the lowest cost ETFs, or maybe just say best, because and you could ask it why does it think it's the best, right? The best ETFs because I want to make sure that low cost is not the only metric. So just say best ETFs and then ask it why it picked those best ETFs for. And I think the best thing is to focus on other global stocks or American stocks, right? Because I don't think it makes sense for you to focus on any specific country other than the US. Either go global or US. And the reason is American companies are global, right? They might say, I mean, they say they're American, but they're not American. For example, McDonald's is an American company, but it's a global company. I mean, there's McDonald's everywhere, almost everywhere, except I think maybe in Iran, North Korea, and a few other places. Oh, not in Russia as well. But it's a global company. Starbucks is a global company. Microsoft is a global company. So buying US, you're already getting global exposure, but with better management, better infrastructure, and better technology. So you could think about this, because you're saying, like, I want to buy the global market or the American market. To me, I think if I buy the American market, I'm buying a global market, but with better managers, better technology, less bureaucracy, more competition, more technology, more productive employees. American employees are more productive than other countries, and it's a type of companies that are everywhere, they're already global. So I like to focus on US based ETFs instead of looking at it. I mean, you could do a mix of both. You don't have to focus on one ETF. It might make sense to focus on maybe 4 different ETFs, and maybe 2 of them could be focused on the US, and 2 of them could be focused on global ETFs. And then you could also ask ChatGPT, give me some ideas on what percentage you think I should put in each one of them, and look at its reasoning. But again, the prompt is, give me a list of the best ETFs for US stocks or global stocks available to investors in, then you could put your country here: Israel, Brazil, I don't know, Bangladesh, whatever, right? So that's one. Another thing you could do, you could figure out the brokerage. You need to figure out, okay, how the hell do I do this now? Also, if it wasn't clear what the hell an ETF is and why it's a good idea, you could also ask ChatGPT about it. Like, hey, Armin explained it to me. I have no idea what this is. Can you basically walk me through this as if I'm like a 12-year-old? Like, okay. And then usually when you say that, it will explain it to you very simply. But by the way, it's very important, guys, that when you're asking these questions, that you switch to the reasoning model right now. Until AI gets better, please, for important decisions in your life, please do not rely on ChatGPT. Do not rely on 4.0. 4.0 is stupid. Okay, as compared to O3. O3 and O3 Pro are your reasoning models. So if you're making important decisions, you need to switch the model of ChatGPT that you're using, and you need to switch it to a reasoning model. Okay, it's very important. Remember, 4.0 is retarded. Let me see. Okay. They also, by the way, ETFs do save you taxes as well. They use a special trick that is the in-kind redemption or something. They avoid passing capital gains taxes to you, and mutual funds don't have that. So even if you don't sell, you might owe taxes with mutual funds, but with ETFs you also save some taxes. So you need to, once you pick your ETFs, if you haven't ever done any types of investments in stocks or mutual funds or ETFs, you need to find, okay, what broker do I use? What app do I install on my phone? What is the best way? You have to ask ChatGPT to give you a couple of ideas. What do I install on my phone to do this? What broker do I use? Give me the pros and cons of each, and then keep talking to it until you pick one, especially for your country. And then once you install it, then you could, when you go buy that ETF, the first time you do it, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, like, oh my God, this is such a foreign world to me. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing, right? What you do is every step you take a screenshot, you go to ChatGPT, you upload that screenshot, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? What do I do here? Like, tell me, what do I do? Like, what do I do next? Why am I doing this? Am I messing things up? It's easy. Like, ChatGPT is there with you. You screenshot, you go to ChatGPT, you upload, you ask it what is the next step is. Walk me through buying that ETF without making any foolish mistakes. Easy. So you identify the ETF that you want to buy. You identify the broker that you want to use. You install their app. You make an account. You go in, and then step by step, ChatGPT will walk you through until you bought that ETF. And you could start with very low. You could start with buying maybe just, using just $200, $300 to get started, just so that you could get the habit of actually buying some investment, right? So let me see if this AI prompt. Yeah. And if you're not sure, if this is a good idea, you could ask ChatGPT, explain it in plain English, why is ETF a good investment? How does it compare to mutual funds? Why some people say ETFs are better than mutual funds? Why some people say ETFs are better than buying individual stocks? And please ask ChatGPT to explain it to you for somebody that doesn't have any expertise in finance, hasn't done this before. It's just getting, this is the first time maybe that you're investing, and get it to explain all of that to you. But guys, in my opinion, this is very important that you guys do this. I mean, if you're not doing this, I don't understand. How are you guys getting ready for your, for old age, for retirement? The sooner you start, I mean, the difference between starting now and starting 10 years from now is hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is the power of compound interest. This is the magic here. Like, if you start 5 years earlier, if you actually do the calculation, you could see, like, oh, if I invest $100 every month into the stock market starting now, and instead of 5 years from now, go look at the difference. It's shocking how different that is. And guys, $100 and then $200, $300 every month into the stock market 20 years from now, ask ChatGPT how much that would be. If I start now, just ask ChatGPT, if I put $100 into an ETF that copies the S&P 500 every month now, 20 years from now, how much would I have? and how much of it, what is the return, how much of it is basically all capital gains above what I put in. It would, I mean, if you have never, if you have never had any experience with investing, it will shock you how much you would make just by doing that. And then play around with it. Like, okay, what if I put 200 every month? What if I put 300 every month? What if I put 500 every month? And if you just ask ChatGPT to give you an estimate for how much you would be making if I do this every month, you become so motivated to just save more and make more money and just keep putting it. You're like, oh my God, that's the difference between starting now and starting 5 years from now. I should have started this a long time ago. Oh my God, that's the difference between putting $100 every month and $200 every month. I should I shouldn't have bought that thing so I could put $200, $300 every month. Just keep asking ChatGPT to calculate the differences between these every month for you, so you get so motivated to start now and to increase what you put in there. Do you guys does that make sense? I hope you guys are motivated. I don't know what you're talking about, Amikai. So here's another AI prompt that you could use. You could ask it, "What's the easiest way to buy a broad market ETF, right? And which one should I buy?" Like, that's a very simple prompt. And then you could start a conversation with it, and then keep going with that. So, by the way, guys, one thing that if you studied investments and finance ever, one important thing that people always try to do to reduce risk is diversification. And you don't need to worry about that. If you buy ETFs, you're already diversified. So before ETFs, people were trying to always reduce their risk by making sure that their portfolio is a mix of so many different things that are not correlated with each other. And one ETF just exposes you to 500 companies, so you don't need to do that. So your risk spreads out. Basically, this is the very definition of not putting all your eggs in one basket. Instead of buying one company, it doesn't make sense to put investments in one company. If you're spread out over 500 companies, one of them going bankrupt, you wouldn't even feel it. And again, you could ask AI that I want to spread my investments across US, European stocks, or Asian stocks. What ETF should I use? But I don't know if that makes any sense. I think you either have to go global or US. I don't know why anybody would want to focus on Europe, Asia. Why? Like, do you know something about Europe compared to other markets that other people don't? Do you know something about Asia? I mean, that some other people don't? Just buy the entire global market. I mean, another reason why I wonder why US instead of global market is because US is global already, but it's also I rely, the companies when they're reporting their earnings, what's on their cash flow statement, what's on their income statements, is basically the the transparency and the legal structure in the US is so much better than, I don't know, maybe in China. So I don't like, when you're buying Chinese stock, I don't even know exactly if I'm getting what I think I'm getting, right? So if I'm buying US market, I'm already buying the global market because their companies are everywhere. But I'm also getting more, I'm also feeling more secure knowing that the information represented in the stock of the price of the stock right now reflects actual true information because of higher accounting standards and everything else. Also, something about crypto I wanted to mention, because other people said, what about investments in crypto? So let me just say this. And then, but before I talk about crypto, please, guys, like the stream, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you're new here, if you're interested in using AI and technology to improve your lives. So this channel, I'm going to talk, a lot of the focus of this channel is going to be about improving your wealth using AI and technology, right? So if you're into that, subscribe here, hit the bell notification, and also recommend our channel to more people. All right, so crypto. What do you guys think I'm going to say about crypto? So first of all, if anybody who invests in meme coins is an absolute idiot, even if they manage to got lucky and got a lot of got a lot of money and they got very rich, is still they're still an idiot. They just got lucky. It wasn't because they knew what they were doing, right? Second of all, anybody who invests in crypto, if they put anything in crypto more than what they could afford to lose, that's also, in my opinion, idiotic, right? Because as good as crypto might be, it's still a new technology, and it's very volatile. So we're given that we're looking at investments as somewhere where we store our wealth rather than trying to generate wealth, we want to have some stability. And because it's possible that many crypto is going to, explode and skyrocket, right? If you really want to be exposed to that, I understand it. Just put don't put all a major part of your investments in crypto. Put just the part of it that you are willing to have go up and down, just so that you could be somewhat exposed to crypto growing, but not but please understand, even if crypto grows significantly high, it's not going to be growing, it's not going to have as much return on investment as a business. And I could tell you, as somebody who has experience in both, the return on investments in your business is going to be higher even than the top 10 crypto coins. By the way, when it comes, even if you want to do like a small percentage of your investments in crypto, I suggest only focusing on the top 10, preferably on the top 5 maybe, but do not go any I suggest not going anything under 10. If you're buying at one that is basically, when it comes to market cap, if you're buying one that is like number 341, then I don't know what you're doing. That's basically a meme coin there. That's You're buying garbage. That you're gambling. I understand the FOMO here, like the fear of missing out, makes many of us want to have some exposure to crypto. I understand that, but please understand that investments are a vehicle for saving your wealth, not to generate wealth. But so put a small percentage of that in crypto, and if you're trying to generate wealth, focus on your own business more than trying to find the coin that's going to make you rich. Because most people who get rich, they got rich because they had a good business. They started a business that they found it. They understood the demand in the market and they start selling to it. That's how most people who get rich get rich. Yes, there are a few people who manage to get lucky gambling, but please understand, if you're trying to buy a coin because you think that coin is going to, I don't know, 10x, and that's what's going to make you rich, you're not investing, you're gambling. Just at least call it what it is. Okay, so FLP doesn't like crypto. Tora saying Bitcoin is good. My mother says, okay. I mean, I don't have anything against Bitcoin. I'm just saying that you're either you're either have business income, employment income, investment, or gambling. If you're relying on Bitcoin to make you rich, that's gambling. That's not investment. And if you're investing for the sake of investing, not gambling, then the point of investment is to save your wealth, not to generate crazy wealth for you. the generate crazy wealth part of your life should be your business. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you learned anything today, and if you guys disagree after the chat live is over, please leave me a comment. If you do agree, also leave a comment. And again, if you're new here and you're interested in wealth generation using the power of AI and other forms of technology, please subscribe, hit the bell notification, and recommend this channel to more people. Let me see. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Oh, FLP saying, I watch what I missed later. I love these chats. They are really helpful. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm putting this because I want to put my thoughts that are not related to politics and religion from Atheist Republic on another channel. So I'm just putting them here just to make sure that I put them somewhere. Great topics. You like FLP, you like the topics? Okay, good. Okay, fantastic. I'm glad that some of you are appreciating it. But I think like I hope somebody who understands these topics, if they come and discover this channel, if they listen to this, they will understand that what I told you here was pure gold. Like this information was really good. So I hope somebody who understands this topic comes here and listen to this and appreciates the the wealth of the amount of good information that I just dropped here for you guys. And Tree of Knowledge is saying, yes, so useful. Thanks for sharing. Torah is giving me a thumbs up. Oh, Amika is saying, but sadly, we don't get trolls here. Yes, the trolls on the other channel, they're fun. Mohsen saying, thank you so much, Armin. Well, thank you. Jim saying, thanks for the stream, Armin. You're welcome. Guys, I hope you guys take advantage of what I told you here. I mean, do your own research, but do invest. It's important that you will thank me later. It's important that you guys invest. Please take investments very seriously, and please understand that they're not complicated. It's as simple as saving money, downloading an app for it, find the best app using AI, and then putting some money in that app, going and finding a right ETF on that app, and then pressing the buy button. It's as simple as that. You don't need to be an expert in anything. You don't need to be an expert in anything to invest. It's really that simple. So please consider doing it. Yes, FLP is saying if Armin discusses Israel here, there will be trolls. Yes, true. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Thank you, guys, and see you guys tomorrow, same time. Tomorrow, same time. Okay, bye.